Hello, today. One of the guys, well, somebody actually asked this before, but another fella asked, Tim asked for a tour of my drum set that I play on. In the first videos I made in '08, I played on my Sonar kit. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pick this baby up, if I can. Hang on. I'm not the best cameraman guy. Whoops, stand by. I know this is always by the seat of my pants, but you know what? I don't have a production company. Alright, so here we go. Here's me. And anyway, these are my drums. This is what I play on. This is, I think, like a late 70s, maybe 1980, what they used to call a recording series kit. I'm sorry, it's a Yamaha. You can see that there. Yamaha recording series. Doesn't say it on there, but it was a recording series that, because this is actually a tom that would go on the other side, so the badge hole is over there. So that would be a right-handed tom. But in any case, the 13 is actually down there, which I don't use. Well, not anymore. Anyway, so here they are. And to give you a quick primer on Yamaha, an old Yamaha stuff, the 9 series stuff, if it began with 9 was recording, which was all birch, as is like the recording custom and stuff. So you see that there. Anyway, you can't see that. It says BD-926, which is 9, which is the recording series, 26, which is the diameter of the bass drum. Anyway, made in Japan. It's a daisy. And these are, you know what, for the love of God, these legs are so long, I'm tripping them on everything. Anyway, so these are actually stainless steel covered. It's actually, and they're very heavy. I mean, this is like stainless steel. I don't know if you can see that there. There's like a dent or two in the drum. You probably can't see that right here. I mean, they're very heavy. I mean, they're heavy anyway because they're heavy birch shells. So it's a 26 by 14 inch depth, the traditional size, which gives you a great wallop. For the love of God, let me shorten these stands, these leg thingies. Anyway, so it's awesome. It is a great kit. I kind of have it. I mean, it still has. I got it on from Musical Round. One time I was farting around on that set. I used to buy and sell a lot of drums and cymbals over the years. Sort of obsessive compulsive. Anyway, I've asked any of my friends who know me. But I have cut down on that. I mean, I'm married now, so that should answer that question. But anyway, this kit I was looking for a 26 kit. Actually, at one time I did want to go back to getting a Ludwig. I was going to get a marching drum and convert it, because to me it was the same thing. And that was even before, Ludwig 26-inch bass drums started going for $1,000 $500,000-$600,000 on eBay. But at the time, I probably could have got one from a fellow out in Nebraska at a shop out there for like $100. I just never did. I ended up getting these. So it actually came together. It came as a 26, 13, 18. Actually a 26, 13, 16. But I got this on another kit. I used to have a 24, 13, 14, 18. So I took the 18 off that and I sort of switched around. Then I took the 24 and I sold the 16 and the other 13 off with that kit to a fellow locally here, if I remember. So anyway, so it's a 26 by 14. This is a 10 by 14 inch rack tom, so it's like the bottom spec, sort of the traditional size. And that's a 16 by 18, 18 inch diameter, 16 inch depth. That's just a Ludwig standard snare. I really love those Ludwig standards from the 60s and 70s because, again, in my opinion, guys will disagree, but it's the exact same shell as a Superphonic or a same gauge aluminum shell as a Supra or a Super. It just doesn't have the bead. They're lighter drums because the lugs are, I guess some of the guys say, these lugs they could be machine polished or they were cheaper and stuff. But to me, they're great sounding drums. I mean, I love them. Anyway, so that's what I'm playing currently just there. There's my trusty 402. Actually, it's a 411 converted to a 4. It's a Super Sensitive I converted to a regular Supra some years ago. And I had that shell. I had the chrome taken off at a place called, God, what is the name of that place? It's in Chicago. Anyway, it was over there. Actually, they're probably still over there on, I think they're on Armitage and Elston. Anyway, so I went in there. They were super nice guys. For like $100, they took all the chrome off because it was flaking all over the joint. and then I had him buff it. And God, I mean, it still looks great now, but it looked great when it came out. I mean, I think polished aluminum was really nice. Anyway, it was funny because they had a big sign there, as big as life, that had probably been up for 50 years hanging from this place. It said, attention, we do not guarantee the plating of aluminum. You know, it's just funny that Ludwig went to aluminum shells in 62 or 3, which is great because I think they actually, to me, they sound terrific. And I actually have a funny Ludwig story. I have some other drums here too. This is some of my other drums. This is an aluminum. Some years ago, a couple of years ago, Yamaha came out with an aluminum series. It's a chrome-plated aluminum drum. And music, to show you, to feed into my obsessive compulsiveness, you know, I would just arse around on the computer, and I saw one time that for whatever reason, musician's friend was blowing these things out for $199. It's a 6.5. They normally go for like $350, so I bought one. Of course, it's been in the plastic ever since, which is the nature of my hoarding disease. Anyway, another super. I had to take the part of the throw off for a drum. There's a Yamaha 6.5. If you want it, it's yours. I think it might have come with the 24 that I sold, the 241360. It's an 8-lugger. That's steel. And then there's a no-name Japanese, which is great. And then there's a Sonar Birch. Anyway, so I have drums and stuff all over the joint. There's some of my heads and stuff. Anyway, so this is the drum kit I play. Now, the bottom cymbal here is a 505 medium bottom, and the top is an alpha band. The original, in the 70s, the Pistes, you know, especially the sound edges, they were, you know, back in the 70s, you know, in the 60s, cymbals were generally thinner. They were lighter, they didn't have as much metal in them, you know, the volume of music wasn't so great, and I think they were having a lot of breakage through the late 70s, early 80s. In any case, they beefed the cymbals up over the years. But anyway, what happened with me is I do have a pair to a Sound Edge 2002 hats, but one of the pairs I had when I first got it, they came used. I always got them used. Had a little crack in it, and I drilled it. And anyway, I was playing with a Zeppelin band called Kashmir, and I just wanted, you know, I used to play pretty hard with those guys. So what happened was on Music Around, they were selling 2 pairs of these Paiste band Alpha. Now, if you look at this, it's funny about the, you know, this particular line of Alpha. It's laid like the original traditionals that came out. Or, I'm sorry, the signatures, which are made out of, you know, the B12 or whatever. These are, of course, B8 alloy. Anyway, they're bands, so they're a little heavier, but they're great. I mean, they do the job, especially through a PA, you know. Anyway, I just keep my play down here. I have 4 of those, though. I have a band A and a band B. That's how Paiste does the pairs. If I remember, I think the A's are a little heavier. Well, one of them's a little heavier than the other, so they match them up like this. And this, anyway, this is a Paiste PST5, which I got in a cymbal pack. It's a medium. You know, it's a great sounding cymbal. You know, the thing about B8 alloy is that you know, it sounds better from a distance. You know, as you get closer to it, it can sound metallic. It turns a lot of guys, especially a lot of jazz guys and die-hard Zildjian and Sabian guys, off to B8 alloy. In any case, I love it. And this is actually a 404 22. This is when you see the writing like that. That's like a 1981 to 86. They discontinued the 404s and the 505s in 86. Anyway, this is a 22. The 20s are all over the joint. You can get them for between like $30 or 60 or whatever. Anyway, this is a 22. It's a great cymbal. It's very kind of dark and trashy. I mean, it's dark for B8 alloy, but it's a great cymbal. The hammering's really nice. So if you ever see one of these, grab it. But it's a great kit. Now, normally, though, I don't put a port in the front head, but you know, this drum came that way. So it's actually a Starfire. So I guess at a period of time, Remo probably called their Silverhead Starfires. There's probably somebody out there who want to pay me $50 for this hat or whatever. Oh, you can see the reflection of my feet. Hey. Anyway, so there's the porthole. But typically, I would just put like an Emperor or an Ambassador on the front here. It doesn't matter to me, a clear, coated, whatever. And on the batter side, I would normally put an Emperor clear, or maybe sometimes a coated. You know, I mean, the coateds, I mean, they do sometimes sound different, obviously, due to the slight muting effect of their whatever. But yeah, and I just muffle it a little. But, you know, those Power Stroke 3 and 4 heads are pretty cool. You know, you put those on there and then you leave the front head resonant generally, and you get a really nice sound. Anyway, so these are the drums. So it's a Yamaha recording series, which predates the recording customs, which have the long lugs. So they're all birch. They're great drums. Actually, at one point I was going to sell these, but I had no nibbles. I was had them for like 1,200, so of course nobody bought them. But to me that's, I mean they're worth it, But in any case, now they're not for sale because I've just grown attached to them. Anyway, here's a gong I have from my Cashmere days, which I never actually played. I actually got it very late. There was a guy that had it for sale, and toward the end, just actually after I left the band, I traded a guy's drum for this, and then the guys in the band didn't need it, so I just have it sitting here on the stand. That's an original. It's a Ludwig stand that you see like it's early '70s, but this is I think right after they went from Paiste. This is not a Paiste gong. I think it was probably imported by Zildjian after they started when they picked up Zildjian again in '75 or whatever. But it'll say on the bottom it says like Ludwig Tam Tam stamped in there. So if anybody's interested in this baby, let me know. I mean, it's a good gong. It does kind of look like those ones that sound like crap. I mean, that really don't make any sort of a gong sound. It actually really is a good gong. In any case, but yeah, that's the drum set. So there's the tour. Um, it's a rockin' kit. I really love playing on it, and I really just set up the 26 so I could practice for the Led Zeppelin thing, because I really, it's a different animal altogether to play, on a 26 sometimes. And then there's a Camco, an original, I should say an original Tama Camco. Those are great pedals if you can get them. There's a wood Danmar beater on there, which is nice. So that's pretty much it. That's my kit in a nutshell, the one I'm playing on down here when I make the videos. So Tim, there you go. Whoops. It's a pretty cool kit here. I always like this view. Ta-da!